And people go, wow, it just keeps, exactly. Again, because we know the enemy operation. We've studied them, we know what they stand for. And they don't stop doing the same thing because it's been working. But that's a weakness, because it doesn't work as well each time. They're getting closer and closer to failure. They're running out of tricks. We are getting closer and closer to their hind end. We are on their heels, ladies and gentlemen, and they're running. Now, they're going to pull the stops out. But they've got to know when they set a nuke off or release a bioweapon or shoot up a bunch of schools, our people are going to be everywhere. Our people are going to be everywhere. And what happens when a cop pulls up at a school and sees a bunch of anti-terror mercs getting in a truck to drive off and goes in and finds a dead patsy killed and shoots video of it and releases it and blows up the false flag within one day? Not a week, not a month. See, and it's already, that's what happens, folks. Why do you think we get all this information? We're going to blow their operations every time they launch them. We got people everywhere. And the great part is there's no cells, there's no brain. This is not even a cell operation. This is just humans wanting justice. We're everywhere. Once we're awake, it's over for you. You understand that? And just like they say in V for Vendetta, when V's talking to the cops, the detectives, and he says, why didn't you do this earlier? He said, I was waiting for you, detective. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for other men and women who know what's going on to stand up and to do what has to be done, or we're going to lose everything. I mean, don't you have a chill up your back right now? Do you really want to be in the hands of the New World Order? These are bad people. We should all be struggling against this, not because we're heroes or have courage. It's blind courage to want to be under this evil. I mean, you got to have some courage to go along with this, because let me tell you, you're signing on. You might as well sign your name in blood to the devil. That's another thing. Once you know this information, and once you've gone out and checked into it and found out I'm telling you the truth, it's much worse than I say. People always go, it's worse than you say. Yeah, absolutely. I can't articulate all this. Once you find this out, it's on you to do something about it. People are like, well, I don't want to do the work. All you got to do is get your heart right. It's like once you decide you don't like something, once you decide you're going to resist something, the doors start opening. God just starts opening doors. It's magic for you to do the right thing. And every time you face down evil, and every time, whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter, you're being trained by God to then receive the next level of providence so that you can then go to that next level fighting evil. I'm telling you, it's amazing, folks. This is the real war for humans' future. This is the real war for justice, the war for innocence. There is an incredible war. People want to join and go fight Al-Qaeda. Heroes who think they want to, fight for America, who are misguided, manipulated into a full-spectrum dominant system. Hey, the real war is right now for your family and the human soul. It's going on right now. So go talk to the youth about how they're being targeted. Go talk to everybody. Go to city council. Call into talk radio. Get aggressive. Catherine in Alabama. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I'm 33, and I'm a yoga teacher now. I got Hodgkin's disease, I believe, from a vaccine when I was 18. I went to public school for the first time, and in 11th grade, and the school counselor told me to that I had to get a Hep B vaccine, so I went for the 3 rounds, and in 3 months I couldn't get out of bed. I lost weight, and I kept going to the family doctor, and they would give me a mono test and metabolic test and say, well, you don't have mono, and they'd send me home. 3 months after that, I had tumors in my lymph nodes and had Hodgkin's disease. It would be hard to believe that now because people ask me for advice and.
I've known people that get Hodgkin's lymphoma right where they get the injection. That's very common. In fact, they admit many inserts it can give you localized tumors.
Well, I got my tumors were in my neck, and then there were 2 more in my lungs because I was in stage 2A by the time I was diagnosed. It's okay now. It was definitely a hindrance, but I just take it as a learning curve.
Well, God bless you and your courage, and we all pray for your continued recovery and not a reoccurrence. But the media always focuses on the courage of cancer survivors, absolutely, but then how to give money to find a cure. How about we find out why cancer is exploding at every level, including a 10,000+% on average in children? I mean, pediatric cancer was unknown 60 years ago. Now, again, I'm not just saying this to be dramatic. Sometimes I'm at the mall or something, or I'm at the grocery store, and I see a kid with like a stain on their shirt, and I look, and they got a little bald head with a cap on. They're holding their mom's hand. Tell the mom's real sad, and you can tell they got a chemo port into their chest. And I just got to go, and I got to go in the bathroom. This doesn't happen a lot. I try to just not look at them, and it's a mixture of sadness and rage that I can't stop them doing this. And, I mean, they're just going to kill everybody. I mean, I can't stand it. And then I have empathy because I have children, and it makes me hate the New World Order. I hate David Rockefeller. I hate Bill Gates. I hate Warren Buffett. I hate... And, I mean, people say you're not supposed to have hate. No, the whole Bible says passages about God hating evil. All I know is I hate the fact that we're weak and let these sacks of evil do this. And, yeah, I mean, I don't mean to start ranting, ma'am. I'm sorry. Anything else? I'm so sorry about your cancer.
Shortly thereafter, I had to drop out of high school, but shortly thereafter, after I went through treatment, I began college, and the first speech that I gave in speech class was on the American Cancer Society, who back then, 12 years ago, had a $900 million budget, but they didn't spent almost no money telling people how to prevent these cancers.
No, the more money we spend on cancer, the more cancer. I mean, can't people put 2 and 2 together? The Rockefellers by the 20s had discovered viral cancers. It's in the medical literature. The Cold Springs Harbor facility, they were injecting poor Appalachian whites and blacks with it, and then they've got it perfected by the 60s, and they're just murdering us up one side and down the other. They own the biggest group of hospitals in the country that run the cancer research, and it's just all a big joke to them. It's all real funny.
Told me that cancer was a virus, and he also told me that only people between the ages of 18 and 35 were getting Hodgkin's disease. So that has got to tell people something. If only one segment of the population, young people, are getting this cancer, not old people, not kids, but this one sector. I mean, that to me, that says, well, something triggered that. Well,
I mean, I'll see a beautiful 25-year-old woman on a walker, you know, down on the hike and bike trail, and I'll stop and say, hey, you know, and they'll be like shocked that I'm talking to them, and I got to bring some cameras out and show this, and they'll say, yeah, I was doing great. I was in a runner, and I was in gymnastics, and I had a boyfriend, and then I go, what do you think did it? It's like, I took shots. I mean, it's just, and I just see these victims everywhere. The hardcore operations doing a great job. And I see people with their kids on walkers all over the place. I mean, it's a devastating military operation. And it's just going to get worse.
Back when I was 18, I just, I didn't have access to the information. And I just thought, well, my school counselor is telling me you have to do this. So being conscientious, I went for all 3 rounds.
Yep, they lie to you. They lie to you, and they say, be conscientious, you'll spread this stuff, and that's what they do. Well, God bless you, ma'am. I'm sorry. I hope you get better. I'm glad you've gotten better so far. Yep. So her doctor told her it was a cancer virus. Yep. You don't really hear that ever on the news, though. They don't tell anybody. Mary Ann, you're on the air from Canada. Go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for having me on. I'm a long-time listener and a huge fan. And actually, my older daughter will be very upset when she finds that I'm talking to you because she'd want to talk to you, too. So I have a younger daughter who had been vaccinated at 2 months. And she started twitching unusually. And I thought something was odd, but I wasn't sure. until 5 months when she was diagnosed with something called tuberous sclerosis complex, which, long story short, is a rare genetic disorder that causes tumors in all major organs, and one in many.
And ma'am, of course it's genetic that you can get lung cancer if you smoke a bunch of cigarettes. It means you have a predisposition, but you understand they lie now and say everybody's getting type 1 because of genetics. But in the inserts, it admits that the vaccine is destroying the pancreas of children, and then they're getting what they call genetic diabetes. It's just not true. Go ahead.
Oh, I completely agree. And it was actually with research, after listening to you and listening to vaccines, we researched that it was actually the DPT shot. There was a case in the States where a neurological doctor, I believe, his daughter had it, and it was proven that the DPT shot caused this to happen. So had we not given her the shot, she would have lived a normal-ish life. But now we are stuck with the consequences because the doctors were not educated enough to do anything about it.
Let me ask you this. How much of the medical bills yearly? Because, again, it's not the doctors. They're compartmentalized. Up above these big foundations that own the hospitals and run them, they're making massive cash. Let me guess. Are her medical bills $50,000 a year?
Well, we're from Canada, so luckily OHIP is paying for it because, quote-unquote, it is genetic. But her medicine is costing us $300 a month.
Yeah.
And plus, we have private speech therapy. We've had lots of help, a lot of intervention coming out of our pockets. So I would say about $5,000 a month.
Holy Toledo. And what's five grand times 12?
5 is what? $60,000 a year.
Yep. Well, they've had a great victory. Well, ma'am, I pray for your daughter, and all you can do is warn others so that this doesn't happen to them.
We are, but we always get an uphill battle. And it's to the point that we just told them to back off. It's our child, that the vaccines actually had affected her. And everyone's worried, oh, but you're not vaccinated. I go, well, why are you worried? Because you are vaccinated. So
oh, yeah, they're going to still bully you into more. They won't be happy until you're all dead. God bless you, ma'am. And just tell your daughter I said hi. That's why I don't do these shows. So it really makes me angry. I could open the phones up and say, call in if you've had family members forcibly killed in hospitals where they turn off the water and food as they beg for water and food, and people will call in. I mean, people have no idea the Holocaust that's going on. Smedley Butler in Italy. You're on the air, Smedley.
Good afternoon, Alex. I'm a former Marine. My wife is current active duty military. She was 6 weeks pregnant when they decided to give her the flu shot.
Oh.
And that's when we had our miscarriage.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry to hear that.
They're killing us left and right. As a former Marine, I am on the do not treat list. And evidently now I'm on the do not let reproduce list. And I got one more thing to say. If they're going to try and force inoculate the entire country, 1776 will happen again.
And I want to say something. All these enemies that are out promoting it and lying, these news people, they need to be held accountable when we take this country back. They're going to be held accountable at the Nuremberg trials, and I'm serious. Right along with all these globalists. Don't you agree?
I agree 100%. Megyn Kelly is a freaking joke. And that queer over there with the purple sweaters on all the time, give me a break. Who takes that seriously?
You're talking about Gutless?
Yeah, whatever his name is. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
Hold on, sir. I want to come back to you and talk about this miscarriage. Yeah, I mean, up until 6 years ago, worldwide, you never give a pregnant woman a vaccine. It's just well known, either deformities, major mental disorders, or miscarriages, and now they push extra shots for pregnant women. I mean, again, it's an over-the-top thing. We'll be back in Overdrive, Infowars.com. This is unbelievable.
Genesis Communications
Stay there, Smedley.
Radio Network.
Year after year, we watch the threats steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify. And Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense. Normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense.